Hello students. Today's topic we are going to see regarding ELISA test. ELISA test is also called, or we can able to elaborate this as enzyme linked immunosorbitant assay. Enzyme linked immunosorbitant assay. This is called ELISA in short. History about this. ELISA, which is prior to the development of EIA, the only option for conducting an immunoassay was radioimmunoassay, a technique using radioactively labeled antigens or antibodies. So here they are going to use a different antibodies and antigen reaction. How the different antibodies are reacting to the antigen. With that, they can able to identify the immunological assay, and they can able to identify whether it is having positive or negative reaction towards this one. Okay, so mainly this is Avram Maes 1966 and 1969 and P. Rees 1967 developed methods to chemically link antibodies to biological enzymes whose activity produce measurable signals with solution containing appropriate substrates. These signals has to be associated with the presence of antibody or antigens. So components of ELISA are antibody IgG fraction of serum. Then enzymes are horse radish peroxidase glycoprotein with lysine residues. Then substrates are TMB. The enzyme act as a catalyst or subtract the presence of hydrogen peroxide. This is just for knowledge for you. Okay, so moving on to the main topic of ours. Introduction to ELISA. ELISA, the test that uses antibodies and color change to identify a substance. So mainly the ELISA test is used to identify that what is the reaction of antibodies and antigen. By the color change, they can able to identify that which substance is present. So ELISA is a popular format of wet lab type analytical biochemistry assay. ELISA involves at least one antibody with specificity for a particular antigen. ELISA involves at least one antibody. So ELISA can perform other forms of ligand binding assay instead of strictly immunoassay. They can able to use because it comes with a 96 well microtiter plates being used for ELISA, which help to identify the different combinations. Like example, the number will be present 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 12. At the same time, you can able to identify A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. You can able to list out till 12 number. So ABCD you can able to use one antibody and antigen reactions of 12. You can able to identify. So 12 type of antigens you can able to identify with one antibodies or one type of immunoassay, or instead of some other activity if you want to find out binding assays, that also you can able to find out. So first and foremost, we'll move to the principles. What are the principles here? It is first thing is it's a wet lab analytical biochemistry assay, which mainly involves to identify or for the detection of analyte in a liquid sample by a method that continues to use liquid reagents during the analysis. So using of liquid sample, the first principle. And second one, the basic principle of ELISA is use an enzyme to detect the antigen antibody binding. Second one is to identify the antigen antibody bindings. Then the enzyme converts a colorless substrate's chromogen to a colored product, indication the presence of antigen antibody binding is present. Like example, if you are saying antigen on solid phase of ELISA which has been present, which is given here. The next, antibody IgG or IgM or IgA in patient serum. So anti-human antibody with an enzyme E conjugate, with an enzyme E conjugate with the antibody. So enzyme acts on the substrate which changes color. So detection system to identify the color produced. So with the color produced, we can able to identify what type of color and what is the particular problem or particular diagnosis is present. You can able to find out. Like example, different antigen is kept over here. You can able to see. You can able to see different different antibodies are kept over here, different antigens are kept over here in the sample, and different antibodies are sent for the identification of reactions. So where here example as given, primary antibodies having the reaction are binding towards the antigen. Okay, moving on to how does ELISA work. There are varieties of ELISA test. There are varieties of ELISA test, but the most basic type consists of an antibody attached to the solid surface. The antibody has affinity for, will latch onto the substance of interest or antigen. The first one is the ELISA test is mainly to identify the antibody, how it is getting affinity to the antigen. For example, human gonadotrophin, human chorionic gonadotrophin, the commonly measured protein which indicates pregnancy. A mixture of purified HCG linked to an enzyme and sample, blood, urine, etc. under test are added to the test system. If no HCG is present in the test sample, the only HCG with linked enzyme will bind. The more HCG which is present in the test sample, the less enzyme linked HCG will bind. By this they can able to identify if HCG is not binding. The next types of ELISA. Types of ELISA we are having two types in common: non-competitive ELISA and competitive ELISA. So non-competitive ELISA, if you are taking, it is having indirect ELISA, direct ELISA, and sandwich ELISA. So non-competitive ELISA which is having indirect, direct, and sandwich. Competitive, and another one is competitive ELISA. So moving on to the non-competitive, first one is indirect ELISA. Indirect ELISA, antigen is added to plate, then added blocking buffer, suitable primary antibody is added, then secondary antibody, that is particularly already I said it's about horse, rabbit, or protein extract should be present, is added with the recognitions and binds the primary antibody. So due to this, what happened after adding these reagents under standard condition, the enzyme's activity measured is proportional to amount of specific antibody in the original serum. If color change is present, they can able to identify it. Advantages of indirect detections are wide variety of labeled secondary antibodies are available commercially. So whereas since many primary antibodies can be made in one species, and the same labeled secondary antibody can be used for detections. Then immunoreactivity of the primary antibody is not affected by labeling. Then sensitivity is increased because each primary antibody contains several epitopes that can be bound by the labeled secondary antibody, allowing for signal amplification. The disadvantages of this test are cross reaction may occur with the secondary antibody, resulting in non-specific signal will be present. The next, it is having extra incubation step is required in this procedure. The next, direct ELISA test. The direct ELISA test is apply a sample of known antigen to a surface. Like example, you can able to take virus surface. The next, enzyme link the primary antibodies applied to the plate. So over the virus surface, the primary antibodies are applied. The next, washed after this wash, only the antibody antigen complexes remain attached. After washing, you can able to identify only the antigen antibody reactions will be, or that will be attached. Apply a substrate which is converted by the enzyme to elicit a chromogenic signals. So substrate and enzyme interactions create color change for detections. If it is producing a color change with spike of blue or normal blue under the standard condition, the enzyme activity measured is proportional to the amount of specific antibody in the original serum. Advantages of this are quick methodological, since only one antibody is used. If you are using only one antibody, this is a quickest method. Then cross reactivity of the secondary antibody also eliminated in this one. Disadvantages are this immunoreactivity of the primary antibody may be reduced as a result of labeling. Then labeling of every primary antibody is time consuming and expensive. No flexibility in choice of primary antibody label from an experiment to another. Then little signal amplifications. These are the problem in the second direct method. The next, sandwich ELISA. This sandwich ELISA is a plate is coated with suitable antibody. Then blocking buffer is added. Then sample is added to a plate so antigen is bounded by a capture antibody. Same. So we are using a capture antibody has been applied. Then antigen has been applied over this one. Then biotin labeled detection antibody antigen reactions will be identified. So by this the antibodies are the secondary antibodies are applied over here, that is particularly the horse extracted one. Then they will be going to check with the TMB substrate also what is the reaction or what was the color changes present by adding that substrate over this one. So here the material needed for this ELISA kit are ELISA plate, positive control, negative control, dilution buffer, then conjugate and TMB substrate and stop solutions. TMB substrate and stop solution, and these are available in a ready-made kit. So procedure of the ELISA, they are coated with 0.2 μg of primary antibody. First we are taking a 0.2 antibodies. The next, incubating for overnight for 4 degrees Celsius. Then wash it. After that, then dilute plasma is added to the coated well which bind to antibodies. Coated well which bind to the antibodies. So we are having the dilute plasma. Then wash it this one. After washing this one, so here next we are moving to the 0.1 μg of biotin-related, that is biotin, which has been anti-human secondary antibody, or we can able to say secondary antibody, which has been added. So here the primary one has been added and kept for 4 degrees Celsius overnight, and that has been washed. After washing, we are adding the plasma and it has been kept for 2 hours. The next, after that we will wash this one. After that we are using the secondary antibody, that also kept for 2 hours. Then after that wash this one. After washing this one, add the alkaline phosphate, particularly streptavidin conjugate to alkaline phosphate. That is, we are adding it to 1.2000 dilutions of this concentration. We are adding here. After adding this one, we are going to check for the color change. If the color change is present, you need at 405 nm wavelength to measure the plasma concentration. So after adding this one, we want to wait for 1 hour. So incubated at a room temperature of 24 Celsius. So normally you can able to do it. After adding this one, you can able to see here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We can able to kept in a different size. Over the different sizes, you are going to identify label 1, 2, 3. What is the procedure of 1, 2, 3? So over this, if the color change has been present with this, they can able to detect what is the label of 1, 2, 3 and what it indicates. So over this, the competitive ELISA are solid phase coated with antibody, then add unknown amount of unlabeled antigen and known amount of labeled antigen. So unknown level we are adding, at the same time known level of antigen also we are adding. So free and labeled antigen are captured. After capturing this one, color formation of oxidation of substrate into a colored compounds has been formed. So under standard condition, enzymes activity is measured proportional to the proportion of labeled antigen mixtures. So advantages of this one are suitable for complex, crude or impure samples since the antigen does not require purification prior to measurement. Directly we can able to use. Disadvantages are each antigen may require a different method to couple it or to identify it. This is the sandwich method. So comparison between various types of ELISA are direct ELISA, which is used for primary antibody, then indirect ELISA, which is used for secondary antibody, then sandwich ELISA, which is used for particularly for the capture antibody. Both primary and secondary will be used over here. The next, competitive ELISA. Competitive ELISA, which is going to help for inhibitor antigen, particularly over the antibody primary. Next, ELISA results. ELISA assay is 3 different types of data output: the quantitative, qualitative, and semi-quantitative. Over the quantitative, ELISA data can be interpreted in comparison to a standardized curve in order to precisely calculate the concentration of antigen in various samples. Then qualitative ELISA can also be used to achieve yes or no answer, indicating whether a particular antigen is present or not. The next, semi-quantitative is ELISA can be used to compare the relative level of antigen in assay samples since the intensity of signals will vary directly within antigen concentration. So this helps to identify the antigen level increasing or not according to the reaction towards the antibody. Then sensitivity, ELISA are one of the most sensitivity immunoassays available. The typical detection range from an ELISA 0.1 to 1 F mole or 0.01 Ng to 0.1 Ng. With sensitivity depends upon the particular characteristics of the antibody antigen interactions. In addition, some substrates such as those yielding enhanced particularly chemical immunorescence or fluorescent signal can be used to improve results. As mentioned earlier, indirect detection will produce high level of signals, particularly with the primary antibody, and should therefore be more sensitive. However, it can also cause higher background signals, thus reducing net specific signals levels. Precautions. Here you want to be very much conscious about the negative control with strong signal. The excessive background signals can be caused by inadequate raising of plates or reagents not sufficiently diluted or inadequate blocking of the plate or non-specific binding of the enzymes. Then positive control with no signals are microwell plates not coated properly or reagents applied in wrong order, not in a proper order, or secondary antibody is not matched with the specific primary antibody. ELISA with weak signaler, wash buffer is not adequately washed, then inadequate incubation time, and enzyme conjugate defective or inhibited by contaminant, then substrate defective or contaminated, then microwell plates poorly coated, or washing also not properly done. So due to this, there is possibility are there for this problem. Then practical aspects, if you're seeing, solid phase used in ELISA includes cross-links, dextrans or polysaccharide leads. This is for your knowledge. Then antigen antibody attachment attached to solid phase by passive absorption. So conjugate used must contain a high reactive antibody coupled to an enzyme. So this ELISA test is mainly used for this identification of applications of screening donated blood for evidence of viral contaminated by either HIV is present or not, or hepatitis is present. The next, measuring hormones levels, particularly HCG, to identify whether it is pregnancy positive or negative. Then luteinizing hormone, time of how best it is having the time. Then thyroid stimulating hormone. Then particularly the thyroid functions of T3 and T4 helper cells. Then detection of infections. Then about the syphilis, sexually transmitted disease. Then hepatitis B and C will be identified. So this is mainly then detecting illicit drugs, whether the person is using the illicit drug. At the same time, to identify whether the person is having any allergic to the food or dust allergy. For these applications, the ELISA tests are used. Hope so you had understood about ELISA test. So ELISA test